Welcome to Biophia KSRCAS channel, your go-to destination for knowledge and learning. We believe that education should be engaging, inspiring, and most importantly, accessible to everyone.
Hi, I am DIVIYA Lakshimi from the Department of Biochemistry. I am going to explain about Eugenics.
Eugenics. Eugenics is a controversial and morally fraught field of study that involves the selective breeding of humans with the global improving and genetic quality of human population. The term eugenics was coined by Sir Francis Galton in the late 19th century and gained popularity in the early 20th century. Eugenics has been associated with several troubling and unethical practices, including forced sterilization, racial and ethnic discrimination, and promoting of policies aimed at preventing certain individuals or groups from reproducing. Historical context. Eugenics has promoted as a means to improve the human race by encouraging the reproduction of individuals with desirable traits and discouraging or preventing the reproduction of those considered undesirable. This led to the implementation of policies such as forced sterilization in some countries. Ethical concerns. Eugenics research and policies have been widely criticized for promoting discrimination, violating individual autonomy, and justifying the mistreatment of marginalized groups. These practices have resulted in significant harm and suffering. Contemporary views. Modern scientific and ethical standards strongly oppose eugenics. The scientific consciousness recognizes that human genetics is a complex interplay of various factors, and simplistic notions of selective breeding are both impractical and morally unacceptable. Genetic research. In contemporary genetics and genomics research, ethical standards prioritize individual autonomy, informed consent, and prevention of harm. Genetic research focuses on understanding the genetic basis of diseases, promoting health, and ensuring the equitable distribution of benefits and burdens. Genetic counseling. Genetic counseling and testing are conducted to help individuals make informed decisions about their reproductive choices and healthcare, but this is done within a framework that respects individual autonomy and privacy. Ethical oversight. Research institutions and governments have established ethical review boards and guidelines to ensure the genetic research is conducted with adherence to ethical standards and legal regulations. Immorality of eugenics. The immorality of eugenics is a viewpoint held by many and it stems from several ethical concerns. Individual autonomy. Eugenics can fringe upon the fundamental principle of individual autonomy as it often involves making decisions about an individual's reproductive choices without their consent. Forced sterilization, selective breeding, or genetic manipulation can lead to a violation of an individual's right to make personal choices about their body and family. Discrimination and social injustice. Historically, eugenics has been used to justify discriminatory and oppressive practices such as forced sterilization of marginalized communities, racial segregation, and even genocide. These practices have led to severe social injustice and human rights abuses. Slippery slope. The pursuit of improving the human gene pool can lead to a slippery slope when criteria for what is considered desirable or undesirable can change over time. This can result in the exclusion or protection of certain groups or manipulation of traits that society deems desirable. Lack of scientific validity. Eugenics assumes that complex human traits, including intelligence and behavior, are primarily determined by genetics. However, many of these traits are influenced by the combination of genetic and environmental factors, making it challenging to draw clear lines between nature and nurture. Ethical concerns in genetic manipulation. Modern advancements in genetics, such as gene editing technologies like CRISPR-Cas9, raise ethical questions about the potential of designer babies and long term consequences of manipulating the genome. Stigmatization and social pressure. The pursuit of eugenics can lead to stigmatization of individuals who do not meet societal standards of genetic fitness. This can create a climate of social pressure and discrimination against those who are not seen as genetically inferior. Complex moral and ethical questions. Deciding what traits are desirable or undesirable is a subjective and culturally influenced process. This raises complex moral and ethical questions about who gets to define these standards and who has the authority to enforce them. It is essential to consider these ethical concerns when discussing eugenics and to be cautious about the attempts to implement eugenic policies and practices. Many nations have experienced the negative consequence of eugenic ideas, and these concerns underscore the importance of respecting individual autonomy, human rights, and social justice in any discussions related to genetic enhancement or selective breeding.